This is the Amazing Spider-Man Reptile Blast Lizard. Figure is part of the first wave, I think, of the Amazing Spider-Man 3 3/4 series of figures. It is a movie series figure, obviously. Where do I even begin? I suppose it's movie accurate. I haven't seen the movie because the movie comes out in July and it's only May. The retail stores already had these. I got this one at Toys R Us, and sculpt-wise, it does not come with a base, obviously. This is a Star Wars Galactic Battle game card base, but it is very difficult to get him into poses because of his sort of like T-Rex feet. He's not as stable. You could lean him on his tail. I suppose that would work, but that just look funny. Very difficult to pose him because of the limited articulation. So we're going to use the Star Wars base for now. Movie accuracy, I suppose he's movie accurate. Paint apps, fantastic. The sculpting looks great. Although the teeth are a little bit too white. Must be using Colgate. But articulation really is a bit of a downer for this figure, and to me it's a hit or miss. It's either you hate it or you like it. Anyway, let's start with the packaging. Here he is. Look at that lizard with a gun. Here's the rest of the assortment. See, here it looks great. Look at that. But as a figure, I'm not too thrilled about it. It's nice to have him if you already have the movie series ultra posable Spider-Man. I suppose that would look great on your shelf. But as it is, as a standalone figure, it's not something I would write home about and really lose sleep over hunting this figure down. He's going to be one of those peg warmers until the movie comes out. The movie comes out, I'm sure kids are going to be after this figure, just because they need, especially kids who want an adversary for Spider-Man. They're going to want this figure, but collectors, I think, are going to be snubbing this one. Okay, he's got a ball-jointed neck, no hinge. Haha, very cheap of Hasbro. Not like that one. He's got a ball hinge shoulder, ball hinge elbow, no waist, no upper torso, just a hinge hip, ball hinge knees. And I mean the knees, because of the sculpting, really just swivel. It's very hard they bend about a few degrees out like that, but very difficult to actually get him into decent poses. He's got a swivel tail, I suppose. You can pose him that way. Yeah, whatever. He could be jumping up like that. Does the jaw move? No, it doesn't. But that's all that really there is to this figure. You're buying it for the sculpt and as a display piece for your Spider-Man figure when you see him. When you have him displayed on the shelf. And if you have bases like these Star Wars bases, the Galactic Battle game card bases, the pegs do fit in nicely with the figures. They're not too big, or unlike G.I. Joes that have their own pegs. And yeah, that's really all there is to it. I would not full-on recommend the figure. If you watch the movie, I suppose, when the movie comes out and you like the villain and you like to have your Spider-Man balance it off, good versus evil, then I suppose, yes, you go ahead and pick it up. But this is not going to be something that's very hard to find. I think shelves are going to be filled with this guy. Hasbro has done a good job in the case assortment. I think there's 2 of them. At least 1 or 2. I think there's 2. I'm not sure. I know there's 2 of these in a case. For him, there could just probably be 1. I'm not sure. But again, as I said, collectors are not going to be after him. So fans of the movie, fans of this movie version of the Lizard, is probably going to have an easy time spotting him. Now, having said that, let's put Spidey off to the side. I know I've said a lot of crappy things about this figure, but between the two, the price points are very similar. I think you get your money's worth, obviously, for this figure rather than this one. I'm still hoping they would release a version of this one with the lab gown. But as it is, just the sheer amount of plastic, articulation, and detail with the comic version, this is, I think, the Fiercest Foes version, compared to this one. I mean, same price point, and you get such a small figure compared to this one. This is the way to go. This is, I think, the better lizard figure to get. So, with that, thank you for putting up with this review. There is a try me button. Oh, which reminds me, try me button for this. He comes with his reptile gun. You don't actually push the button. You actually press on the jaws, the upper jaw of this gun, and it hits the button and shoots the missile. And it's like, rah, rah, rah. It's like, will the reptile really use a reptile claw gun against Spider-Man? Come on, Hasbro. I mean, if you just scrap this, since the only two movie series figures, I think, in the entire, at least first wave, are these two. This one didn't have a gun. You could have at least done the same. Hasbro could have at least tried to do the same treatment with this figure and remove the gun and added a wrist, added a waist or an upper torso. You could have added ankles. You could have done a whole lot of things to make a really good figure. This could have been a great figure, but instead Hasbro chose this. So, that's that, folks. If you like this video, please don't forget to add it to your favorites or click the thumbs up icon at the bottom. If you want to know my latest toy purchases and upcoming reviews, follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/fxfranz. If you'd like to see more of my videos, subscribe to my other channel on YouTube at ChefTron. There you go, folks. The Amazing Spider-Man Wave 1 2012 movie series Reptile Blast Lizard. Thanks for watching.